when a person is in a particular context, a human being, and I talk about this in my blog, it's called the Muslim blog. A human being can do trillions of topics. A human being can think about trillions of topics. A human being is capable of infinite topics. A human being is capable of doing infinite things. There were 2 topics God said, do not do. Exactly. Homosexuality and blasphemy. Exactly. Only 2? Yes. Only 2 topics. We talk about a very serious context, but this is the topic exactly of the trillions of things a human being can do, of the infinite things a human being can do. Infinity is in the heart of the human being. Everyone knows that exactly. When a human being is doing anything, infinite, exactly. Beware about that, eh? Human being is a sentient, exactly, capable of infinity. The Lord himself says that, eh? Part of the issue is about eternity, exactly. The human being is capable of infinity, exactly, of the infinite things a human being is capable of thinking and doing. There were 2 topics, homosexuality and blasphemy. God said, kill the homosexual, because it's a vessel for Satan, exactly. In that sense, at that point, nothing matters. When we look at 2 topics exactly, when the person blasphemes, Satan got a vessel, exactly. When a person is a homosexual, it's an open vessel for Satan, exactly. In that sense, it's a walking disease, exactly. So what if the disease wears clothes, exactly? Doesn't the disease wear clothes? Part of the curse is that. Exactly, it's a disease that wears fine clothes for you, eh? Does people's hair and makeup? So what? When persons read the topic, they understand those topics in particular. They may be confused. There's a pretend confusion, eh? A human being can legitimately be confused, though, okay? This is a big topic. A human being can be covered in something called confusion. Part of being human is that. How do we solve that? We do something called sitting down, exactly. Being rational, exactly. A human being can place in a context, exactly. A human being can legitimately be confused, eh? Person's talking a little fast, exactly. Part of it has to do with the mind, eh? In that sense, who cares about that? God said that in the Quran, we cover the human being in some type of confusion. Part of it is about mental toughness, exactly. But it's not a huge topic. Person just be rational, exactly. Look how easy it is. In that sense, though, it's a representation of something we understand. A person can get something called worked up, exactly. A person just be rational, exactly. In that sense, the natural state of the human being is rational, exactly. We talked about that. In that sense, though, when we talk about a specific topic, a person must understand that this topic was not allowed to be obfuscated in any way. The person can talk about a bunch of layered topics, but when exactly, this is how serious that topic is then. Everyone intrinsically knows every topic, though. This is true of every subject. But when we look at these 2 topics, everyone knows that. When someone sees a blasphemer, exactly. We don't care about people's lives. When I did the mimic, exactly. In that sense, the person can then do something called lying. It's a part layered, exactly. Everyone knows it, eh? Exactly. These are topics everyone knows, exactly. When persons are talking about topics they know, persons have to exactly. In that sense, God gave us a defense against the errant human being. He said it's a liar. Sinful liar, exactly. It's lying from this part, exactly. The words the Lord uses, it's this lying, sinful forelock, exactly. Who cares about its lies? This is the portion it lies with, exactly. In the Lord's parlance, he says it's lying, sinful forelock, exactly. One person say, why can't he? No, he doesn't feel like it, exactly. He has his own way of talking, exactly. Human being lies from here, exactly. How does the person defend themselves from that? The Lord said, human being is a liar, exactly. Who cares about its lies, exactly. When it's errant, it lies, exactly. The good person is any number of topics everyone loves. Exactly. Everyone knows it's honest. Exactly. It can make honest mistakes. Exactly. The human being by itself, though. Exactly. Now we're talking about the topic. What happens? Exactly. It has mimic topics. Exactly. In that sense, though, the actual human being now, When we use this slight complicated language, God is evidencing confusion. Exactly. Exactly. In that sense, the human being by itself is good. It is a representative of God. It is in His image even. Exactly. Human being is honest. Exactly. It is good. Exactly. What the issue is that when Satan gets a hold of a vessel, exactly. Not an excuse, exactly. God warned us about that topic. The whole topic is that. Wasn't about supernatural beings with wings per se. Exist, exactly. When we were placed in the context, he was talking about that. In that sense, someone can say we are big-time failures. No, not everyone. Not the intrinsic human being, exactly. When human beings were attacked, they were attacked for very specific reasons. When the human being knows the context, they toughen up. No, they are human, exactly. Can't budge the human an inch, exactly. When a person is in a particular context, though, even if the human being was not what we call a pious individual, which makes no sense. Every human being should be pious, exactly. Every human being is intrinsically pious, exactly. Every human being knows God, that's a type of piety, exactly. Every human being trusts God is a type of piety, exactly. In that sense, if the human being was not what we call pious, let's say, God did not care about that. When a person was in a marriage context, exactly. When it boils down to the one-for-one standard, nothing matters, exactly. It's about any number of topics the Lord has decided. He explained that topic in the Quran. He said, we're the defender of man, exactly. When we say man, we mean woman. Wow, there's no difference, exactly. When we get to that level, God says man because he knows there's no difference between a man and a woman. It's just another man, exactly. He said in the Quran, I created you from one single being. For this topic, it would be nice to consult my blog called The Muslim Blog, and I talk about these type of subjects. At a certain level A, when we get to the highest level, it's just one man, exactly. There's no difference between man and woman. That's why he says man, exactly. In that sense, though, when we're in a context, he refers to our context in a very particular part, exactly. In that sense, I don't care about that. It's for the person to understand their ABCs in that sense. When we reach a certain level, exactly. When a person was in a particular context, though, regardless of the piety of the individual, the context is as it is, exactly. God is there for the person, exactly. Everyone knows what that means, exactly. When persons were in a particular context, though, it would have benefited them to know the context, and it would have been a little bit more, but it didn't matter to God. Regardless of the context, it was that. In that sense, though, a person doesn't have to say, my Lord, and everything like that. Goes without saying, he made that promise. Lord keeps his promises, exactly. So this is not about any number of topics other than our own errors, exactly. So what, eh? When the persons do anything in particular, a human being is pretty great, exactly. A human being is pretty awesome. When we talk about rationality and goodness, exactly. In that sense, though, let us talk about God's method. When he's in a particular context, it's about basic truth, exactly. Person need not be pious in that context, exactly. When the person's attacked, God is there for that person. In that sense, it's based on topics that we know, though. Pretty scary when we have a jealous person, exactly. When we get to those topics, this is now what I will talk about, topics that people may now recognize a little bit more. We can call them jealousy topics. Su'adhan, exactly. Topics that persons recognize when the human being is being devious, when the human being is doing any number of topics. This is a world that is related to stuff God knows, exactly. When we talk about mesmer, or something like that, when we talk about knowledge that we may call any number of topics, when a person is in any kind of subject, these are things a human being can see, obviously. People obsess about them for no reason, though, but there must be a reason for something like that. It's got to be beings in that sense, exactly. But let's not make a huge deal about a topic we can talk about rationally, exactly. In that sense, when a human being is lying even, no. Exactly. When human beings are calculating even, exactly. Lying makes sense, exactly, but these topics must be something slightly different. When the human being is looking at someone with an intent, exactly. These things are stuff God knows. In the next chapter, we'll really talk about these things in a way that we can understand. Stay tuned, Ben.